Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, everyone. Um, okay, so my name is Ron Rubacaba. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions for the USC Suzanne Dworak-Peck School of Social Work. Thank you for those of you who are attending this afternoon. Before we get started, I do want to allow my counterpart to introduce herself. Melissa, please.
Yes, hi, I'm Melissa Garai, and I'm here from the Zellico School of Jewish Nonprofit Management at Hebrew Union College, which is located right across the street from USC. I'm thrilled to be here, and I'll tell you a little bit more about our program later.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to have an opportunity to walk through each of the programs. And so we'll begin with the MSW. We'll talk a little bit about the MSW program, some of the benefits of the program. We'll briefly talk about the application. Of course, this is not intended to provide all of the information, just some of the information. I would encourage all of you, if you're interested, to continue this conversation with admissions counselors or with Melissa. And then we'll have an opportunity to go through her program as well, and you'll have a chance at the end to ask questions of both of us. And along the way, if you have any questions throughout this presentation, you can use the question box, and so just type those in. Yesenia Carranza, who's also online, you can't see her. She's the admissions counselor. She's also online. Yesenia, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Yesenia Carranza. I'm an admissions counselor, and I work with international students, but also our dual degree students and all kinds of students as well. But if you guys ever have any questions about the dual degree, I can always help connect you to the right people. So definitely reach out to us. And I will actually put my email in the chat box as well, so you guys can go ahead and reach out if you have any additional questions.
I'm going to remove myself from the webcam. I'm going to hide myself so I can move along the presentation. But I am here. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask along the way. All right, let's see here. Okay, so again, we're going to talk about USC's MSW program. Let me move along my slide here. Okay, so our admissions counselors. Again, we have a team that's here to help each of you. As I mentioned, my name is Ron. I do have Myra. She's my senior admissions counselor. Leonard Slutsky is our admissions counselor, and Yesenia, who you had the opportunity to meet on the phone as well. She's our admissions counselor. Now, any of you, if you have questions and you're assigned to one of us as a counselor, my team is prepared to help any student that calls in. We have access to the same data, so it doesn't necessarily have to be your counselor. If you have any questions along the way, whether or not we've received transcripts or you have questions about the application, feel free to reach out to my team. They're here to support you along the admission cycle. Now, for those of you that are here online, are you thinking of applying this year? And if so, using your question box, where along are you in the process of the application? I know we have Nora, Estella, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Yingzhu Lee. Have any of you started your applications? Okay, again, we definitely use the chat function. We'd love to hear from you where you are. If you have any questions about the application, we are here to answer those. Now, why are we here? The USC Suzanne Dvorak-Peck School of Social Work, we're here to promote social justice, well-being at every social level through the advanced education, community engagement, and we're going to continue to talk about that, community engagement, interdisciplinary scientific activity, and advocacy and professional leadership. You're going to hear more about the advocacy throughout this program, or throughout this presentation, excuse me. Now, here at the Suzanne Dvorak-Peck School of Social Work, we offer 4 degrees. We offer the MSW, Master's in Social Work. We offer a PhD in Social Work, a doctorate in Social Work, as well as our Master's of Science in Nursing with the emphasis on nurse practitioner. We also offer a number of dual degrees here at USC, and you're going to hear from one of our partners today, but we have a lot of opportunities for our students to really enhance their careers. Now, one of the unique things about our program here is that you really get to make this program your own. And how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to have an opportunity to choose a department, to choose your electives, and really you have an opportunity to sort of customize your campus and your community involvement. And as future social workers, I know that's very important to each of you. And so we have the opportunities to really help social work students connect with that campus, connect with the community at large, and really do some profound, impactful work while you're here at school, not having to wait until you get started or until you graduate and get into the field. Now, we offer 3 departments here at the School of Social Work. We offer Children, Youth, and Family. And so this department prepares students to improve the lives and well-being of children, youth, their families. Students in this department are prepared to support children, adolescents, transitional age youth. And we do this within agencies, with different institutions, nonprofits. We do this in the communities, with families and other social and organizational contexts. So if you're interested in working with children, and we're talking children from as early as early childhood through that transitional age, this is the department for you if you're interested. We also have the Adult Mental Health and Wellness Department. Now, this department sort of picks up where the other leaves off, and so this department is going to prepare students to improve the mental health and physical well-being of individuals across the adult lifespan. And that's from young adulthood to older adults. And students here in this department, they're prepared to support adult clients, again, within agencies, different nonprofit institutions, communities, families, and other organizational contexts. So if you're interested in working with over 18 years of age through older adulthood, this might be the department for you as well. Now, these 2 departments do have a clinical focus. It is designed to prepare the student to deliver direct services, clinical practice, working one-on-one, whether that's working in mental health, behavioral disorders, with emotional disorders. Again, this is sort of broken up by population. So the children, youth, and family, you're looking at early childhood through transitional age. Adult mental health, you're looking at transitional age through older adulthood. Again, focusing on those different populations. Now, the last department that we have is social change and innovation. Whereas the other 2 departments were more focused on a particular age group, this one is not. This department, social change and innovation, it's very much sort of the macro level department. It's pronounced SCI is what we call this, social change and innovation. Now, this focuses on designing social change and leading that innovation. This curriculum is going to prepare students to improve living conditions, work environment for individuals, groups, families, in the community and the larger scale. So again, as we say, these folks are more interested at the macro level. They don't necessarily want to be clinicians and work at the one-on-one with students, but they want to be more maybe interested in policy level, at the macro level, maybe the systems level, working in larger organizations. So this is a really unique department that allows for some flexibility. Now, all of these departments will prepare you for the LCSW. So despite what department you choose, you are being prepared with an MSW that would lead to licensure should you choose to pursue that. Okay. Now, going to school here at USC, it's only part of the equation, right? We really want our students to focus, half of that is going to classes and doing the field work, and you're going to have plenty of opportunity to get involved in that work and really be buried by that work. But the other half of this experience is exploring outside of what USC has to offer. And again, you're going to hear from someone today who has something that could really enhance that experience, contribute to that academic experience and to your career afterwards, but making the most out of your experience here. It's really what's important. That's taking advantage of everything that we have to offer. Now, 60% of your time here is dedicated to field. Over 60%. It's about 63%. Now that's spending your 1,000 hours in your internship and your field placement. That's also in your field seminar courses with your field faculty, and that's sort of the opportunity where you're going to be able to sort of take your day-to-day experiences with your clients and your internships and make some real-world sense of that with your faculty members and your classmates and sort of digest that material and discuss that and making sure that that theory is connecting with that reality, with that application of the reality. So this is a really good piece of that. This is where we say it's very, very hands-on. Now, your first placement, your first-year placement is chosen for you. It's assigned. It is a total of 450 hours in year one. And for our students, what that's going to look like for you in the fall would be a Monday and Wednesday. From 8 to 5, you're in your field internship, your first year field internship. And that's chosen based primarily on your living situation, your zip code. So if you're living right here in the Los Angeles area, typically within 30-minute radius, they'll place you within that radius. If you're living in the Santa Monica area, if you're living in the Whittier area or the Valley, again, they typically will place you within your local area, so that on Mondays and Wednesdays, you're not having to come into school. You're going to field placement. And if that's close to where you reside, that's the hope, is that we can provide something close to where you reside. Your second year placement, you get to choose this placement. You really get a chance to design what that looks like for you, and how is it going to help prepare you for your career. That's 550 hours in your second year, and that will, on your day-to-day schedule, it will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, there's some variation to that, but for the most part, you'll find yourself on a Monday and Wednesday for 8 hours apiece, and on Friday for 4 hours, for a total of 20 hours a week. Again, 450 hours in year one, 550 hours in year two, and that total is 1,000 hours of your field internship, your field placement. Again, that's supported by your seminar class. So very, very hands-on. As a matter of fact, students feel very much more connected to their internship in year number two, because they find themselves spending a lot of time there working with their clients. Now, what makes our program uniquely SC? What is different about our program? Well, one, you're learning from leading faculty. The faculty here rank 5th in research when it comes to social work. These are examples of some of the books that our faculty have published. Our faculty, when you go to other MSW programs, many of the books that they're using are from the faculty here at USC. Our faculty are leading in research. They're involved in the community. The community impact they have in their respective fields, it's groundbreaking. It's progressive, and you'll have an opportunity to learn from those folks. And if you decide you want to do some research alongside them, you most certainly have some opportunity to do so. As I mentioned, our faculty are ranked 5th for faculty research impact. Now, you can certainly get a leg up in customized career services. Here at Social Work, we have an opportunity to help customize those for you with our Dworak-Peck Connect and working with our advancement office. Of course, the Trojan Family Network, that's something you'll continue to hear throughout your time here. And you definitely want to take advantage of every opportunity that you have to not only network with alumni, your current classmates, with faculty, but with community leaders as well, and people that are leaders in your respective fields of career. Now, you also want to take advantage of everything USC has to offer. We talked about experience, right? Not just the academics, but the experience of being here, whether that's fitness classes, whether that's theater, whether that's getting into the coffee houses and meeting with your fellow students, collaborating on different projects across different schools and from different perspectives. Take advantage of that. We have some wonderful gym facilities. Self-care is something that's very, very important in a rigorous program like social work, where you are meeting with clients, and it is a very rigorous program academically. And when you're combining that with a dual degree program, of course, that's going to require a very disciplined academic discipline. But there does require time for you to care for oneself. Take advantage of everything that we have to offer and make sure you provide yourself with the care that you need to be successful and graduate and move on into your careers. Now, on your schedule, we do offer several programs within the MSW program. We do have the advanced standing. It's a 3-semester program, 1 year. Now, that's in order to get into the advanced standing program, one does need an accredited BSW, a Bachelor's in Social Work. If any of you feel that you have that, let us know. We'll work with you. We also have the 2-year traditional MSW. That's a 4-semester. We take summers off. We have a 3-year MSW program. That's 6 semesters. And we also have what we call a working professional MSW. This is a 7-semester continuous semester program. It's the newest offering that we do have. And so we're beginning in the fall with a cohort of 20 students. It's continuous enrollment. So meaning you'll start in the fall, you'll continue through the spring and summer, next fall, spring and summer, and then finish off in the fall. Classes are guaranteed in the working professional program. They're guaranteed in the evening for those students. You'll find yourself here 2 nights a week. The classes are held from 6 p.m. to 8:50 p.m. Again, it's limited to a cohort of 20 students in the fall, but this is designed for those that are working professionals and need some flexibility with courses. Now, the field internship requirement hours, those are still there. They're still required on the Mondays and Wednesdays, but they're really little more willing to work with your work schedule and the field internship, depending on if you meet that criteria. So again, we do have different options. If you have any questions on any of these options, you'll want to reach out to your admissions counselor. At the end, we'll provide some contact information. Getting involved, and I think that really is going to help shape your experience here. Getting involved in our student orgs and the various caucuses that we do have. Here at the School of Social Work, we're very, very involved. In my years of education, I haven't seen a lot of graduate schools as actively involved as here in the School of Social Work. For obvious reasons. I mean, I think social workers, you're advocates. You advocate for folks, and you're empowering and you're educating people in different audiences, different populations. And so our students are definitely involved. And like I said, they don't wait until they graduate to make some impact in that community. They're doing that through through the student org and the many caucuses that we do have. And typically, there's something for everybody here. And if there isn't, then you'll have an opportunity to address the student org and create that if that's something that you want to do. But this is a good opportunity to practice leadership, to get involved with the community, to organize, and to really do some of the necessary critical, develop some of those necessary critical skills that you'll need as you get out there in your careers as social workers. So why not get started now and have some fun and network along the time that you're here. Now, again, becoming part of this community is very, very important. I understand that you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to find yourself living in these two buildings, but you really want to make sure that you're part of the community. And for those of you that go on into the HUC program as well, you want to become part of that community and really explore and expand your knowledge based on who you're meeting with and the resources you're taking advantage of. Now, how to apply to USC? I think some of you said I got accepted for the MSW for the coming fall. Oh, congratulations. Excellent. So this may be a little redundant for you that have been admitted, but if you're going through the application process, how to apply. Now, everything is done online. There are requirements. Of course, the online application is required. We do require a resume that will demonstrate 1 to 2 years of social work related experience. Now, that can be, it's loosely social work related. It can be human service related. What we're looking for in your resume is making sure that you have some experience around the population that you're trying to work with. In other words, if you want to work with adults, then you should have some experience in that area. That could be internships in your undergraduate. It could be volunteer hours. It could be through your church. It could be through a paid job. So again, we just want to see that you have some experience in the areas of your interest. Of course, 2 to 3 letters of recommendation. I need a minimum of 2 letters of recommendation. In the application, it does define for you who is an acceptable recommender. We want to make sure that they're faculty members, maybe counselors, direct supervisors are really good for letters of recommendation. This cannot be personal letters of recommendation or colleagues or coworkers. Again, it has to be some sort of supervisory report, something of that nature, or a faculty member, or again, it could be a counselor. If you have any questions, though, feel free to reach out to your admissions counselor, and we can help with that. Of course, your transcripts. We do need transcripts from all schools attended. We need original transcripts. Students will often ask, do they need their community college transcripts? Yes, you do. If you've taken any courses at any colleges, regardless of whether or not you received a grade or not, you do need to submit that transcript. Even if your degree granting institution shows those community college courses or those transfer courses, again, we need all original transcripts. Now, for the School of Social Work, your file will not be reviewed until you have all official transcripts here in the school. I know in the online application, it will ask you to upload a copy of unofficial transcripts. Again, not necessarily required for us because we will not review your file until we have official transcripts. So please order those as soon as possible. It is good always to order, 2 sets, send one to the school, send a set of transcripts to your home. Things do get lost in the mail. Sometimes they get misplaced. Sometimes they don't make it here. And so if you're trying to meet the deadlines and you're having issues with transcripts, well, you'll at least have had some sent to your home along at the same time. Last but not least, and I think most important, is the 5-page statement of purpose. This 5-page statement of purpose is the most heavily weighted in the application. This is your opportunity to really explain how well you know this field and really why you're a good fit for USC and the impact that you're going to make in this career. We do have several prompts in the statement of purpose. If you follow those and if you follow the directions there, this will it'll produce a good statement of purpose. We're doing two things with this. We're evaluating two things, making sure that you answer those questions and assessing your awareness of this field, your understanding of this field. And we're also looking at your level of writing as well. And so our faculty reviewers are looking at, is this graduate level writing that you're demonstrating? This program is very heavy on writing, and we do, in order to be successful, a student does need to be a good writer. And so sometimes this may happen where a student has a fairly good GPA, but their writing may demonstrate some concern for faculty. Not that you wouldn't be a good social worker, and they may admit you, but they may admit you to the 3-year program with the intention of sort of slowing it down, providing resources and support for your writing to ensure that you've mastered the core courses in the beginning adequately, and then you'll be successfully able to move on to your department level courses. So that might happen as well. So please pay attention to that. Your 5-page statement of purpose, you should have somebody, a trusted person, a faculty member, colleague, who will review that statement of purpose for you and provide some editing for that. Let's see here. Now, paying for your degree. What is my time frame here? All right, so let me move it along real quick. Paying for your degree. On our website, we do have the cost of tuition on there. This is
Okay,
USC.
sorry, I'm in this webinar.
It is a little pricey. I want you to be aware of the cost. It is $19.28 per credit hour. I ask that students have a game plan coming in. We understand that students are going to borrow some. We will assist with scholarships. We have opportunities for scholarships, different types of scholarships. But we just ask that students be mindful of how they're going to, their plan of attack when it comes to the tuition. As a matter of fact, in the statement of purpose, one of the questions is asking you to address your plan. What's your game plan? If the answer to that question is, I don't know, or I'm hoping that USC will pay for all of this program, you might want to reconsider that. So make sure that you've got a sound plan there. Take a look at the resources that we have online. We provide a number of resources, whether there's endowed scholarships that are here, institutional scholarships, the main university provides resources. We provide you a number of outside agencies, so take a look at that. If you have questions, I need you to reach out to your admissions counselors so we can have those separate conversations that are unique to each of you. You want to consider your expenses. You want to consider tuition, books, living expenses. I think students often neglect the living expenses, but you do need to be thinking about that. It's not just tuition. You need to be thinking about transportation, and you need to be thinking about food in addition to tuition and books. Now, I am going to turn this over. My presentation is concluded. Again, I know there was a lot of information we threw at you today.
Ron,
get onto our website.
We throw it to Melissa really quick. Can I just chime in? I know that Ron spoke a little bit about the different, the traditional route, which is 4 semesters, and then we have the advanced standing. If you're a dual degree student, you have to apply to the traditional to be able to be eligible for this dual degree program. So although we have the working professional and other ways to complete this program, you would have to apply to the 2-year program, and then it's built out that way.
Thank you, Yesenia. Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Melissa.
Thanks, Ron. All right, fantastic. Well, thank you again, all of you, for joining us today. And I want to start by naming the over 50-year partnership that HUC and USC have enjoyed. The relationship between the School of Social Work and our Zellicoe School of Jewish Nonprofit Management is the longest standing of our USC relationships. We have 4 different dual degree programs with USC, the MSW being one of them, but it is our longest standing degree program, and therefore it is the largest in terms of our alumni group. So it is a very popular route to go for students who are interested in both of these degrees. So I'm here to talk to you about the Zellicoe School of Jewish Nonprofit Management, the Zellicoe School for short. And our mission is that our graduates lead the business of Jewish life. So I'll give you a little bit of a teaser of sort of what we offer, and then I'm going to go into a little bit more background about who we are and why we're here. So we offer a Master's of Arts degree in Jewish nonprofit management that you can pursue alongside your MSW degree. It allows you to complete both degrees in the span of 2 years for less than the cost of the USC degree alone. So that's the teaser, and I'll get into the specifics of that as we move on. But I'm going to share with you a little bit about why the Zellico School exists, how we do what we do, and then what it is specifically that we offer. And we'll go into the specifics of our degree and some of our admissions requirements as well. So why are we here? Our vision is to see the Jewish community organizations that exist be led by talented leaders who know how to manage change in the 21st century. So some background about a little bit what that actually means is that the American Jewish nonprofit organizational community is a little over 100 years old, and it came into being as a safety net for what was then a largely homogenous group of largely immigrants with organizations called Jewish federations, which are much like United Way organizations at the center of the organization that raised funds from the community and allocated them to social service organizations that served the community. And it was really clear what the structures were in the community and how the organizations related to one another. And there was enough sort of money being raised to go around, and it was a very simple nonprofit ecosystem that we all enjoyed. This does not describe the American Jewish nonprofit community of 2020. The entire nonprofit ecosystem has changed. It's become very complex. There's a lot of overlap between the government sector and the nonprofit sector and the for-profit sector. And the Jewish community, by extension, needs to reinvent itself to meet the changing needs of our community in this 21st century. So that's where we come in. The Zellico School is here to equip our graduates with not only the hard skills to run nonprofits effectively, but also with the leadership skills and the creative problem-solving skills to manage change in that new reality. So how do we do that? We offer a very personalized, small, cohort-based model with a goal of infusing innovation and entrepreneurial principles into our teaching. So it's a combination of the hard skills of nonprofit management, so fundraising and marketing and financial management and board governance, coupled with problem-solving skills to be a leader in the 21st century. One of the sort of key hallmarks of entrepreneurial thinking is the theory of radical collaboration. That idea is that if you bring people together from different backgrounds, from different disciplines, you're more likely to get a more creative ultimate end product than if you brought people together who all think the same. So that's what we model in our program. We have a diverse cohort model of students who are coming to us from all different backgrounds and who are not only headed toward different types of careers in the Jewish nonprofit sector, but who are also studying a lot of different things alongside the Master of Arts in Jewish Nonprofit Management. So we have, as I mentioned, 4 different partnerships with degree programs at USC. So some of our students are, in addition to our program, are pursuing an MSW. Some of them are pursuing an MPA. You can see behind me that I have my USC degree and my degree from the Zellico School. My USC degree is from the Price School. I have my MPA. We have students who are pursuing their MBA from the Marshall School. We have students pursuing their communication management degree. We have students who are becoming rabbis. We have students who are becoming educators. So it's a very diverse group of people who come together and who are all trying to understand what it means to be a leader in the nonprofit ecosystem. And our curriculum, as I mentioned, is a curriculum that incorporates both entrepreneurial thinking and also hard skills of nonprofits. And we try to create an environment that is practice-oriented. That means we try to mimic real life as much as possible, but in an environment where it's safe to fail because you're still a student and you're not yet a fully fledged professional. Our courses are, for the most part, not lectures, but rather they're opportunities to meet with real practitioners in the field. They're opportunities to engage in designing programs, simulating board meetings, creating mock fundraising asks. The idea is to equip our students with enough practical experience of opportunities that they will encounter in the nonprofit sector once they graduate and become fully fledged professionals in the community. So as I mentioned, we have 4 different dual degrees with USC, the MSW being one of them, and the longest standing of our degrees. And we've talked about sort of why we exist, to bring great leaders to organizations who are at the cusp of massive change. We talked about how we do that with a small cohort-based model in a practice-oriented learning environment that emphasizes problem solving and practice-oriented skills building. So now what we have to talk about is the structure of the degree and how you apply to it. So we offer a Master's of Arts in Jewish Nonprofit Management, and we call it an MAJNM for short. So that's the acronym I'll be using for the duration of the presentation. So our MAJNM program is a 2-year or 24-month program that I mentioned before allows you to pursue it alongside your MSW at USC. So the way you're able to do this is by starting during the summer previous to the fall that you would normally start your MSW program, and continuing through the summer in between your 2 years in the program, and graduating in May with both degrees at the same time. So as you can imagine, this is a highly intensive academic route. So I want to say from the outset that this is not for the faint of heart. So pursuing 2 degrees at the same time is a heavy academic lift, and it requires students to be focused and to be comfortable in an academic setting, and to be able to manage a work-life balance, to be able to manage not only field placement and coursework and not having summers off, but also a capstone project and an Israel seminar that I'll talk a little bit more for our program. So it's all doable, and it is designed in such a way to be done by students to get in and out of both degree programs in 2 years. But I just want to make sure that I start by saying that you get the benefits of having completed 2 degrees, but you also have to have gone through the process of putting in the time and energy to complete both of those degrees. So here's what the sort of dual degree structure looks like. So you would start in, like I said, in summer with the Zellico School before you even start at USC for your MSW. And you would do a 6.5-week intensive summer semester at the Zellico School. And the Zellico School, by the way, is located right across the street from the USC Village, which is the newest extension of the USC campus. So we're on Hoover and Jefferson, for those of you who know the area. So literally right across the street from campus. And so you complete 6.5 weeks on our campus to start off your dual degree program. And then when fall semester starts, you get about a 2-week break in between the end of the summer session and when fall semester starts. And when fall semester starts, you start your MSW program at USC, and everything Ron said about the coursework that happens in the fall semester and the field placement that happens in your fall and spring semester of that first year, you do through the USC School of Social Work. The one sort of caveat is that while the field placement is through USC and is managed by USC, we do a little bit of partnership with our dual degree students on matching the placement for that field placement that first year. For our students who are interested in not only doing their clinical placement, but also doing it in a Jewish organization, we try to make the placement happen in such a way that it works for a student both geographically, which is the parameters that USC is matching on, but also to allow a student to do it within a Jewish social service organization if that's important to them. And then, so you complete your fall and spring semester at USC, and then you come back to us at the Zellico School for a second 6.5-week summer session. Same thing, it's an intensive 6 weeks. You're taking 5 or 6 classes over the course of that 6-week session. And then in fall and spring too, you are doing your USC coursework alongside another field placement internship, but this time the field placement internship comes through the Zellico School. So the Zellico School will work with you to place you in a Jewish nonprofit field placement that meets the needs that you are looking for in terms of building your resume to start your career after you graduate. And additionally, in that second year, you complete a capstone project with us. And that capstone project is designed as a nonprofit accelerator. So we borrow models from the entrepreneurial sector that take students through the process of product development. So we help you figure out a problem in the community that you would like to solve somehow. And in the first semester, you do a research methods course where you understand the landscape of that issue and you figure out what organizations are out there to address this issue or this population. And in the second semester, we help you through a process that borrows models from the entrepreneurial sector like design thinking and human-centered design and the business model canvas. And we help you essentially come out of that second semester with a working business model for a new product that you've created to solve the problem that you have decided to solve. So one of our dual degree social work students, for example, wanted to solve the problem of mental health centers not being accessible enough for people who want to create their own opportunities for engaging in mental health. So she created a product that she called the Chipotle of social work. So essentially it allowed clients to come in and build their own menu of wellness and social work models. And she didn't launch the center, although she could, because she got it to such a state where she knew what the product would look like, what, how many employees she would need to run it, who would fund it. So we help you through this process, and it allows you to go through a really interesting academic exercise, or in theory, if you want to launch this product that you come up with as a startup organization, you have the ability to do that as well after you graduate. So that's a really exciting opportunity that you get to pursue in your second year of our program alongside your USC coursework that is happening in your second social work year. And then finally, in May of your second year, you graduate usually on Friday from USC and then on Monday from the Zellico School of Jewish Nonprofit Management. So you graduate with both of your degrees at the same time if all goes according to plan. So let me talk a little bit about the application and admissions process for our program. If you are thinking about applying for this coming year, so I know a couple of you mentioned that you already were accepted and to the USC MSW program and are thinking about the dual degree. So our application process is still underway, and our final deadline is March 1st. So we're accepting applications until March 1st. And our application process is very similar to the one Ron laid out for the MSW program, but a little bit more intensive. And that's because we're creating cohorts of 20 students each year. So this is a very, very small program compared to the large USC MSW program. And we really want to make sure that all of those students are going to be learning and growing together alongside one another wonderfully, in addition to just being successful in the academic program. So because of that, our personal statement that we require is 7 pages long. You can submit the same resume that you submit to your USC application. You can submit the same transcripts, although you have to request copies be sent to our school additionally. We request 4 references, the instructions for which are on our website, which I've linked in the chat box in the webinar. And we also require an interview, which is the piece that sort of sets us apart in our application process to really get to know our applicants on a one-on-one basis. So assuming you submit all of your components of your application in addition to the online application, and assuming you are granted an interview, you will interview with a panel of professionals and alumni from the Zellico School community, people who are on our administrative team, our faculty, and then some alumni or graduating students. Usually it's a group of 4 to 6 people that will interview you, either in person or over video conference. And like I said, that is to really get to know our applicants and ensure that we're creating the best cohort possible. So that is the process. Again, applications are due March 1st. I will talk for a minute about finances, and then I think we're going to turn it to questions for both Ron and myself about the either or both programs. So quickly on finances, there is a large incentive to apply as a dual degree student between USC and HUC, and that is that the minute you enroll, so you're accepted into both programs and you enroll in both programs, the minute you enroll as a dual degree student at USC, you get 25% off of your USC tuition. That's not a scholarship, that's a tuition discount. So that's before any outside scholarships are applied. And in addition to that, you get up to 75% off of your Zellico School tuition. So in theory, you're paying roughly 25% of your Zellico School tuition and 75% of your USC tuition, making the cost of attending the dual degree actually less than the cost of just attending the MSW on its own. So definitely, if this program is for you and if you're willing and wanting to pursue this pathway, there is definitely a financial incentive to do so. And the other last thing I'll leave you with is that we don't require the GRE if you have an undergraduate GPA of a 3.0 or above. So you would not have to submit GRE scores to us. That is a commonly asked question. Okay, I'm going to pause there and I think allow Ron to jump back on the screen, and then I think we're going to take questions if there are any for either or both of us about either program or about the dual degree program.
Thank you, Melissa. And I just wanted to mention, well, somebody had a question, and I think this goes along the finances, which this is a great incentive. If you're interested in this program, I mean, why, and you're willing to do the work, as Melissa said, why wouldn't you want to take advantage of this, being that you're going to come out with 2 degrees that obviously could enhance your career for the same price. Now, somebody had asked a question about if you're admitted to the 2-year program and you apply for the dual degree, would the scholarships carry over? Okay, so if you were awarded a scholarship for the USC Suzanne Dworak-Peck School of Social Work, that still applies, regardless of, so if that was a $10,000 scholarship, like Melissa said, the minute you're enrolled into both programs, you'll save a 25% off of the USC's tuition. Now, if I give you a $10,000 award or a $15,000 award or a $20,000 award, you're still going to get that award. It's still applicable to our tuition, not to mention any discount that Melissa had mentioned. So yes, it is a carryover.
And to answer the timing question, yes, you can still apply for a dual degree for this fall, but the caveat is it's actually this summer that you would start. So you can apply up until March 1st to the MA-JNM program at the Zellico School. And if you are accepted, we start our summer session the last week of June. So your grad school experience starts a little bit sooner than you were probably thinking about, but it's definitely not too late.
On our website, and I know Yesenia posted a link under the chat box, but you can see the curriculum, what it looks like in terms of how many units one would have to take for the social work program versus the nonprofit management. So you can take a look at that. So get onto our website, explore, take a look at the curriculum. It is allowed in each of the 3 departments. So if you're a children, youth, and family, and that's your area of concentration for the social work, still applicable for the Jewish Nonprofit Management Program. You can do adult mental health and wellness, or you can do social change and innovation. It does not matter in terms of your departmental choice at USC. You can still participate in the dual degree program.
Any additional questions?
I know someone asked a little earlier about the experience on the resume. You know, we're not sitting here counting days and hours and all that sort of thing. What we want to see is generally 1 to 2 years of experience in human service related experience. Again, what we're looking for is if you're interested in working with children, that you've spent some time working with children, interning, you know, doing an internship with children, exploring that area. If you're interested in working with the elder population, we would typically want to see some experience, you know, volunteering, internship in that area. Now, some students don't have experience. We have a number of students that are re-careering and that are coming perhaps from the corporate world, and they don't have much experience. Okay, might that be some disadvantage in your application? Sure. But what we're going to do, again, you're going to work with a counselor. We're going to try to mitigate that, and we're going to try to place some emphasis on other areas of your application. Your statement of purpose, on why you want to be here, how much you understand this field. Of course, your letters of recommendation will be very important. So again, utilize us as a resource. We'll chat with you. Not everyone's going to present, you know, the perfect application, and that's not what we're looking for. That's not what we get in social work. We're getting, you know, what we're looking for are folks who want to inspire, who want to empower, and who want to advocate for their particular population. Doesn't matter where you want to do that, if it's clinical or non-clinical, traditional, non-traditional. That's up to you. But at the end of the day, what you do here with this program is you're inspiring, you're empowering, and you're advocating for a group of a vulnerable population. That's what we do here.
And my answer would be very similar. We're not looking for a number of years of experience on your resume. We're really reviewing your application holistically. And for us, with the added level of the interview as well, we're really trying to get to know the candidate, why you want to pursue this work, why is it that the nonprofit pathway speaks to you as a career path, and does your resume reflect that in any way? And if it doesn't, what else are you telling us in your application that's going to make up for that? So very similar to what Ron was indicating.
And I did mention GRE definitely not required for us as well. GRE tells us absolutely nothing about you as a student. You're going to get to tell us about you throughout your statement of purpose and your interviews. So you're going to have that opportunity to tell us who you are and why you want to be here. All right. If there are no other questions, we have your time back. Again, just know that we're here. We'll have the contact information. Our contact information for Melissa and myself is on the website. I know we posted some links under the chat function as well. If you ever get lost and you don't remember any of those, just get onto the School of Social Work's website and then look at the dual degrees, and you'll find HUC's information, Melissa's contact information, and we can, for those three of you that are on, we could send you some additional information on that as well.
Okay, I just put my contact information in the chat box as well for access. Thank you all for being here, and thank you, Ron, for the partnership, as always. And all right.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Take care, everyone. Thank you for attending. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.